The world thought they had seen it all when it came to Meghan Markle's controversies. But what if there was an even deeper secret lurking beneath the surface? A scandal so shocking that it could unravel everything she has built over the years? The name Meghan Markle has become synonymous with royal drama, media battles, and endless speculation about her private life. But now, an entirely new chapter has emerged, threatening to upend everything. A secret tape, allegedly recorded by none other than her estranged father, Thomas Markle, has surfaced, one that supposedly contains irrefutable evidence that Meghan had a third child. But not with Prince Harry. The father? Billionaire Gordon Getty, through an IVF procedure that was never meant to come to light. The implications of such a revelation are staggering. If true, this would not only be one of the biggest scandals in modern celebrity history, but would also raise serious questions about Meghan's credibility, the extent of her secrecy, and the lengths to which she has gone to craft the image the world sees today. This story isn't just about an alleged secret baby. It's about deception, power, and the consequences of living a lie for too long. So how did we get here? How did Meghan Markle, once a relatively obscure actress best known for her role in Suits, become a figure so polarizing that every move she makes is dissected, debated, and, now, potentially exposed in the most shocking way imaginable? Thomas Markle's role in his daughter's life has been a subject of public fascination for years. His relationship with Meghan was once close, but as her status rose, the distance between them widened into a full-blown estrangement. Some believe that his bitter resentment towards Meghan's fame and fortune drove him to betray her at every turn, while others argue that he is simply a desperate father trying to reveal the truth. But why now? Why, after years of making statements and giving interviews about Meghan, has he suddenly come forward with something as explosive as a hidden tape? There are only two possible explanations. Either he has been sitting on this information, waiting for the right moment to unleash it, or the tape itself is a fabrication meant to further fuel the already existing chaos surrounding Meghan's name. One thing is certain. If Thomas Markle does have such a tape, it could be the ultimate game-changer. Not only would it expose Meghan in a way no one saw coming, but it would also permanently redefine the already tumultuous father-daughter relationship. But let's step back for a moment and consider the other key figure in this unfolding scandal, Gordon Getty. Getty, a billionaire known for his extensive wealth and powerful connections, is not a name frequently associated with Meghan Markle. Yet, whispers of a secret connection have circulated in certain circles for some time. Could it be possible that Getty and Meghan had an arrangement that resulted in a child? And if so, why would she go to such great lengths to keep it hidden? The idea of a secret IVF pregnancy raises a host of questions. If this was something that truly happened, what would have been Meghan's motivation? Would it have been financial, emotional, or strategic? And more importantly, how could such a monumental event have been kept under wraps for so long? Many skeptics will argue that this revelation is simply too outrageous to be true. After all, Meghan and Harry's lives are scrutinized under a global microscope. How could something as significant as another child go unnoticed? However, history has shown us time and time again that when people in powerful positions want to keep something a secret, they will stop at nothing to do so. If this tape is real, its impact would reach far beyond Meghan's personal life. It would challenge everything people believe about her relationship with Prince Harry, her public statements, and even the nature of the royal exit that changed the course of her life. Did Meghan leave the royal family simply to escape the pressures of royal duties, or was there something far more complex happening behind the scenes, something that, if revealed, could have made staying within the monarchy impossible? The very idea sends shockwaves through the narrative that Meghan has so carefully constructed over the years. But before we dive deeper into the specifics of the tape itself, let's examine the broader context in which this scandal is unfolding. Meghan Markle has always been a master of controlling her image. From her days as a Hollywood actress to her dramatic entrance into the royal family, she has understood the power of perception better than most. Every move, every interview, every carefully curated moment has been designed to craft a specific version of herself, one that is relatable, inspiring, and above all, in control. However, when cracks began to form in that image, the public response was brutal. Accusations of dishonesty, manipulation, and self-interest followed her at every turn. The Oprah interview, the the Netflix documentary, and the countless headlines dissecting her every statement all contributed to the growing skepticism about her authenticity. And now, with the emergence of this alleged hidden tape, the scrutiny has reached an all-time high. What does this mean for the future of Meghan Markle? If this tape is authenticated, what consequences could she face? Not just legally, but socially and within the very circles of power she has spent years trying to navigate? More importantly, how will the royal family react to such an earth-shattering revelation? Could this be the final nail in the coffin for any hope of reconciliation between Meghan, Harry, and the monarchy? As this story unfolds, one thing is clear. This is no longer just another tabloid rumor. The stakes have never been higher, and if the claims made in this tape are even partially true, the fallout will be nothing short of catastrophic. This isn't just a scandal, it's a reckoning. And as we go deeper into this shocking revelation, we will uncover the intricate web of secrets, betrayals, and hidden truths that have led to this moment. All right, I'm continuing with the next section. Here we go. Thomas Markle's relationship with his daughter, Meghan, has always been fraught with tension. A relationship that once seemed close, full of promise, and rooted in family love, quickly deteriorated under the pressures of fame and public scrutiny. The world has seen Thomas Markle in countless interviews, claiming to reveal the truth about his daughter's character, but nothing could have prepared the public for the latest bombshell he's about to drop. In recent years, Thomas Markle's public statements have oscillated between feelings of betrayal, hurt, and a desperate longing for reconciliation. Meghan's rising fame and subsequent distance from her family became an uncomfortable focal point for him, especially after her marriage to Prince Harry. Despite his daughter's rejection, Thomas continued to publicly express his frustration and disappointment in interviews with various media outlets. His words were often harsh, but one could also see the underlying pain of a father who believed his relationship with his daughter had been unjustly severed. But amidst all these public outbursts, one thing was clear. Thomas was keeping something close to his chest. For months, he had alluded to the existence of a critical piece of evidence, something so powerful it could expose Meghan's carefully constructed public persona. And now, this evidence has reportedly surfaced. An explosive tape that could completely unravel Meghan Markle's life as the world knows it. What could be so damning that Thomas Markle would risk even more scrutiny to expose it? Why would he, after years of estrangement, release something as potentially devastating as this? The truth is, Thomas Markle's motivations are complicated, to say the least. There's no denying the tension that has existed between him and his daughter since she married Prince Harry, and since the couple stepped away from royal duties. While some see his public criticisms as a father's deep hurt over being excluded from his daughter's new life, others interpret his actions as pure bitterness. Whatever his reasoning may be, Thomas Markle has always maintained that his daughter is not the person she portrays herself to be. He has repeatedly accused her of being manipulative, self-serving, and dishonest, particularly regarding the way she handled her relationship with her family and the public image she has so carefully crafted. Now, the bombshell he is sitting on is not just a casual claim or another fabricated narrative. It's a tape, reportedly recorded in secret, that allegedly holds undeniable proof of Meghan Markle's involvement in something even more shocking. Her third child, born through IVF with none other than Getty, a billionaire known for his connections to some of the world's most powerful people. This revelation, if true, could change everything. It would not only challenge Meghan's relationship with Prince Harry, but also send shockwaves through the media, the royal family, and the public at large. Why would Meghan, a woman who has already fought so hard to distance herself from royal expectations, go to such lengths to conceal such a monumental secret? The idea of a hidden child is not only scandalous, it's a game-changer. For those who have followed Meghan Markle's journey over the years, this news may sound too outrageous to be true. After all, Meghan's life has already been a whirlwind of public attention, royal duties, media feuds, and personal revelations. But those who know how power works and how secrets can be buried by those who have the resources to do so, know that sometimes the truth is far more bizarre and convoluted than we could ever imagine. This is where the hidden tape comes into play. Allegedly, Thomas Markle has in his possession a recording that would reveal Meghan Markle's connection to Getty in a way that no one could have predicted. But let's take a step back for a moment and examine who Gordon Getty is. Gordon Getty is a name that, while not commonly known to the general public, carries immense weight within certain circles. As the heir to the Getty fortune, one of the wealthiest families in the world, Gordon Getty has lived a life surrounded by privilege and influence. Born into a world of billion-dollar estates, art collections, and connections to the most powerful people in the world, Gordon Getty's life has always been under the scrutiny of those in the know. Unlike his more famous relatives, such as the late J. Paul Getty, who built the family's fortune through oil investments, Gordon Getty has spent much of his life out of the public spotlight, focusing instead on music and philanthropy. He is a renowned classical music composer and philanthropist, with a long list of charitable endeavors attached to his name. Despite his relatively low public profile, Gordon Getty's financial empire is vast, and his connections are far-reaching. His wealth is not just a result of the Getty family oil legacy. It is also a byproduct of strategic investments in various industries, ranging from real estate to finance. Gordon Getty's quiet life may seem disconnected from the world of Hollywood and royalty, but his name is well known in elite circles, especially in political and business circles where power and influence intersect. And it is this world, one of private jets, closed-door meetings, and multi-million-dollar deals, that Meghan Markle allegedly found herself entangled in. For years, whispers have circulated about Meghan's potential connections to powerful individuals like Gordon Getty. Whether it was her time in Hollywood or her later dealings as a public figure, these rumors always seemed to hover just out of reach, never fully substantiated but also never entirely dismissed. Could there have been a deeper connection between Meghan Markle and Gordon Getty than anyone realized? One that went beyond casual acquaintances or professional partnerships. In the context of the hidden tape, the possibility of an IVF procedure involving Gordon Getty and Meghan Markle raises several questions. Why would Meghan, someone who has made a name for herself as a philanthropist and social activist, choose such an influential yet low-profile billionaire as the father of her secret third child? Was this a strategic decision made in the name of privacy and security? Or was there a different, more personal reason that led Meghan to turn to Gordon Getty for assistance? What's clear is that the connection between Meghan and Getty, if it exists, would not be a simple one. There are layers of power, secrecy, and intrigue that surround both of them. Layers that, if revealed, could shake the foundations of everything Meghan has worked for. The question now becomes, how did Meghan Markle and Gordon Getty come into contact with one another? To understand this connection, we must dive deeper into Meghan's past, both before and after her marriage to Prince Harry. Meghan's early life was marked by her entrance into the entertainment industry, where she worked as an actress and later became a lifestyle blogger. Her career was built on her appeal as a relatable, down-to-earth woman with an eye for fashion, self-improvement, and giving back to the community. It wasn't until she met Prince Harry that her life changed drastically, catapulting her into the international spotlight. But long before Harry entered the picture, Meghan had already made connections with some of the world's most powerful and wealthy individuals. It is known that Meghan, in her role as an actress and philanthropist, attended events where the rich and famous gathered, places where connections were made, deals were struck, and opportunities presented themselves. One such event, according to sources, was a high-profile charity gala held in Los Angeles, which attracted a guest list full of A-listers, business moguls, and powerful individuals from the entertainment, business, and political realms. It was here, some say, that Meghan first crossed paths with Gordon Getty. Details surrounding their initial meeting remain murky, but those close to the event have hinted at a strong mutual interest between the two. Whether that interest was purely professional or something more personal remains uncertain, but what is clear is that the two began to communicate privately after that fateful evening. As Meghan's profile rose in the public eye, so too did her connections to wealthy and influential figures like Getty. While she has always maintained a distance from the paparazzi and avoided any association with scandalous rumors, the possibility that a connection with someone like Gordon Getty could have evolved into something more intimate cannot be dismissed. But was there a more personal connection behind their meetings, one that would lead to an IVF procedure, a secret child, and the eventual revelation of this shocking scandal? The idea that Meghan Markle secretly had a child through IVF with Gordon Getty sounds like something straight out of a conspiracy thriller, but the more we dig into this claim, the more questions arise. Could this be another baseless rumor fueled by Meghan's polarizing presence in the media? Or is there truth to this shocking allegation? In vitro fertilization, IVF, has long been a choice for individuals and couples looking to conceive outside of traditional methods. It is a highly advanced procedure that allows fertilization to occur in a controlled environment, making it possible for individuals to have children without physical intimacy. This process has been widely used by people in elite circles who seek privacy or face challenges with natural conception. If the claim is true, Meghan Markle's alleged use of IVF with Getty would not be unprecedented. There have been many instances in history where wealthy and powerful figures have used scientific advancements to produce heirs while avoiding public scrutiny. But the key question remains: why would Meghan go to such lengths to hide this child? And what role does Getty play in this narrative? Some speculate that this child was never meant to be part of Meghan's public image or the royal equation. If an IVF arrangement between Meghan and Getty did occur, it may have been a personal decision separate from her public marriage to Prince Harry. Others believe that Meghan's alleged connection to Getty had financial or strategic implications, and revealing such a child could have disrupted delicate power dynamics. While there is no concrete evidence that Meghan secretly had a child with Getty, the existence of the hidden tape, allegedly in Thomas Markle's possession, adds another layer of intrigue. What is on this tape that makes it so damning? Is it a direct confession, a recorded conversation, or some form of documented proof? The answers to these questions could change everything. If the tape provides verifiable proof of an IVF child, it would send shockwaves through the royal family, the media, and Meghan's carefully crafted public persona. If, on the other hand, this tape turns out to be another attempt at smearing Meghan's name, then it only adds to the ongoing war between truth and speculation that has surrounded her life since she became a public figure. Regardless of which side of the debate one falls on, the allegations alone are enough to cause chaos. If there is any truth to these claims, the world will demand answers, and Meghan Markle will find herself in the center of a scandal that no carefully curated interview or public statement can control. The emergence of this scandal did not happen overnight. In the age of social media, where news spreads like wildfire, the smallest rumor can explode into an international headline within hours. But this particular revelation came in waves. First as whispers in dark corners of the internet, then as unverified leaks, and finally as a full-blown media storm that no one could ignore. The first hints of the alleged hidden tape surfaced in anonymous online forums, where users claiming to have inside knowledge suggested that a major revelation about Meghan Markle was imminent. These cryptic messages didn't gain much traction at first, but that changed when certain journalists and royal commentators began to reference a potential bombshell regarding Meghan's past. Then, out of nowhere, a report surfaced, one that claimed Thomas Markle had in his possession an explosive piece of evidence that could shake the foundations of Meghan's public image. The speculation grew with every passing hour. What could this evidence be? Was it another letter exchange, a recorded conversation, or something even more damaging? As the media scrambled to verify the claim, sources close to Thomas Markle hinted that this was not just another personal grievance between a father and daughter. This was something bigger, something that had been kept hidden for years. It wasn't long before mainstream news outlets picked up the story. Even though many were skeptical, the possibility that Meghan had another child in secret was too massive to ignore. Journalists reached out to sources, investigative reporters started digging, and social media erupted with theories, debates, and heated discussions. Then, the biggest twist of all, an alleged insider came forward, claiming to have first-hand knowledge of Meghan's dealings with Getty. According to this source, the relationship between Meghan and Getty was not purely financial or social. There was something deeper, something that had led to the existence of a child that was never meant to be revealed. Now, the world waited for Thomas Markle to make his move. Would he release the tape? Would he hold on to it as leverage? Or was this another ploy to regain relevance and attention? One thing was certain. The controversy had reached a boiling point, and there was no going back. As with any major scandal, the media landscape became divided. Traditional mainstream outlets approached the story with skepticism, hesitant to run with a claim that lacked concrete proof. Many mainstream journalists dismissed the allegations as yet another conspiracy theory designed to vilify Meghan Markle. However, independent investigators and alternative media platforms took a different approach. Some saw this as an opportunity to dig deeper, to uncover whether there was any truth behind the claims. Social media platforms became battlegrounds, with independent researchers analyzing past statements, tracking Meghan's public appearances, and trying to find any inconsistencies that might support the allegations. Royal watchers, bloggers, and critics of Meghan seized upon the news, amplifying discussions and pointing out details that had previously been overlooked. Some highlighted past interviews where Meghan seemed hesitant to discuss certain aspects of her personal life. Others examined timelines, suggesting that there were unexplained gaps in Meghan's public appearances that could hint at a secret pregnancy or medical procedure. The divide between mainstream and independent media was stark. While major news outlets hesitated to touch the story without official confirmation, independent voices continued to push the narrative forward, demanding answers. This division only fueled the speculation further. The more mainstream outlets ignored the story, the more convinced some people became that there was a cover-up. The more independent platforms pushed the theory, the more critics dismissed it as baseless rumor-mongering. But amidst all the noise, one question remained. If this was just another false rumor, why wasn't Meghan Markle addressing it head-on? Her silence only made the situation worse. As news of the alleged hidden tape spread, public reaction was swift and polarizing. On one side, Meghan's supporters rallied behind her, calling the allegations absurd and accusing Thomas Markle of fabricating lies for attention. They pointed to his history of selling stories to the press, arguing that this was just another desperate attempt to tarnish his daughter's reputation. But on the other side, skeptics found the claim too intriguing to dismiss outright. Many argued that Meghan had a history of secrecy and that the possibility of a hidden child was not as far-fetched as it seemed. Theories spread across social media, with some users even trying to analyze old photos, tracking Meghan's movements, and attempting to find any clue that might support the claim. Even neutral observers found themselves caught in the whirlwind. If there was any truth to these allegations, it would be one of the biggest scandals in modern celebrity history. If it was false, it would be yet another example of the relentless scrutiny and misinformation that followed Meghan Markle wherever she went. As debates raged online, the pressure on Thomas Markle grew. Would he finally release the tape and put all speculation to rest? Or was this simply another attempt to stir controversy with no real evidence? No one knew for sure. But one thing was clear. This was no ordinary rumor. Whether true or false, the claim had gripped the world, and everyone was waiting for the next move. How the news broke was only the beginning. As the controversy gained momentum, the world turned its attention to Meghan and Harry's response, or rather, their silence. For years, the couple had carefully crafted their public image, shaping a narrative of victimhood, resilience, and self-empowerment. They had walked away from the royal family claiming they wanted privacy, only to embrace the spotlight on their own terms. So why, now, when faced with one of the most explosive allegations of their lives, were they refusing to speak? Their response, or lack thereof, was unusual even by their standards. In the past, Meghan and Harry had been quick to issue statements when they felt misrepresented. They had taken legal action against tabloids, filed lawsuits for invasion of privacy, and condemned false reporting. Yet, as news of the hidden tape spread, they remained noticeably absent from the conversation. This silence led to even more speculation. Some believed that their legal team was working behind the scenes, carefully preparing a response that would dismantle the claims once and for all. Others suspected that they were biding their time, waiting for public interest to die down. But among the most skeptical observers, there was a different theory. Perhaps they weren't responding because they knew the allegations weren't entirely baseless. The royal family, too, remained quiet on the matter. Despite the many conflicts between Meghan, Harry, and the monarchy, no official statement was issued from Buckingham Palace. It was an unusual move considering the magnitude of the allegations. Was the palace refusing to comment because they had no interest in defending Meghan? Or was their silence strategic? Did they know more than they were letting on? Meanwhile, behind the scenes, sources close to the Sussexes suggested that the couple was in crisis mode. Though their public image had already taken several hits in recent years, this was different. If the tape was real, the damage to Meghan's reputation would be beyond repair. Despite their silence, There were reports that their legal team was actively investigating the origins of the alleged tape. Rumors circulated that attempts were being made to suppress its release. Was this an attempt to protect Meghan from false accusations, or was it a desperate effort to keep a long-hidden secret from being exposed? How this affects their public image was another matter entirely. In the court of public opinion, Meghan and Harry's reputation had already been a subject of intense debate. To some, they were champions of social justice and advocates for personal freedom. To others, they were opportunists who had carefully manipulated their narrative for personal gain. But this new controversy brought an entirely different layer to the conversation. If the allegations were true, Meghan's entire public persona would be called into question. Her claims of honesty and transparency would be shattered. Even worse, it would reinforce the idea that she had been deceptive from the very beginning, carefully crafting a version of herself that did not reflect reality. If the allegations were false, it would serve as yet another example of the relentless scrutiny she had faced since marrying into the royal family. It would prove that no matter what she did, people would always find a way to attack her. But there was a third, more complicated possibility. What if the truth lay somewhere in between? What if elements of the story were true, but not in the way the media had framed them? What if there was a connection between Meghan and Gordon Getty, but not exactly how people assumed? This middle ground was the most dangerous of all. It would mean that while the story may not be entirely fabricated, there was enough truth in it to cause irreparable damage. The stakes had never been higher for Meghan. If the tape was released, her ability to control her own narrative would be lost forever. Would they take legal action? Fight back through a carefully coordinated media campaign? Or would they continue to ignore the speculation, hoping it would fade away on its own? If history was any indicator, Meghan and Harry wouldn't remain silent forever. They had always been strategic in their responses, carefully choosing when and how to engage with controversy. But this time, things were different. This wasn't a tabloid rumor about a family feud. This wasn't an allegation of bad behavior behind palace doors. This was something that, if true, could completely alter Meghan's place in history. Her legacy, her reputation, and everything she had built were now hanging in the balance. And the world was waiting for her next move. Are there powerful people protecting Meghan? This question has been whispered in elite circles ever since she stepped into the royal spotlight. From her connections in Hollywood to her marriage into one of the most powerful families in the world, Meghan has always seemed to have a protective shield around her, one that allows her to navigate scandals without suffering the full consequences that others might face. But if the allegations about a secret child with Gordon Getty via IVF are true, the stakes are far higher than any previous controversy. Powerful individuals who control media narratives, legal battles, and public relations campaigns are always working behind the scenes when it comes to high-profile figures. In many cases, scandals are managed before they ever reach the public eye. So the real question isn't whether powerful people are protecting Meghan. It's whether they will continue to do so in light of this bombshell revelation. The first sign of elite influence is always the media response. When the story first began circulating, many mainstream outlets avoided reporting on it directly. Some framed it as just another conspiracy theory, while others dismissed it altogether. But why? If this were a baseless rumor, wouldn't the media be eager to refute it and move on? Instead, there was an eerie silence, a hesitancy to address the issue head-on. Some believe this is because influential figures, including those connected to Meghan, were working behind the scenes to control the fallout. This isn't the first time we've seen strategic media suppression when it comes to high-profile scandals. Over the years, countless major stories have been buried, delayed, or reframed in ways that protect the individuals involved. If there is a deliberate effort to shield Meghan from this controversy, it could be coming from multiple directions. Hollywood connections, political allies, or even figures within the royal family may have a vested interest in ensuring that this scandal does not gain too much traction. But as public interest grows, suppression becomes increasingly difficult. Even the most powerful media figures can only control a story for so long before it reaches a point of no return. Historically, the monarchy has always operated under strict public relations strategies. They have mastered the art of silence, choosing when to speak and when to let stories die on their own. But the Sussexes are no longer working royals. They are no longer under the direct influence of Buckingham Palace, which means the monarchy has no obligation to protect them. So why hasn't the palace issued a statement distancing itself from Meghan amid this controversy? One theory is that the royal family knows more than they are letting on. They may be watching and waiting, gauging how the public reacts before making any official moves. Another possibility is that they see this scandal as an opportunity. In the past, the palace has taken a hands-off approach to Meghan and Harry's public missteps, allowing them to damage their own credibility. This controversy, if left to play out naturally, could further erode their influence and place them in an even weaker position. If the palace does choose to intervene, it will likely be subtle. A well-placed leak, an anonymous royal source providing a key piece of information, or a carefully crafted statement could change the entire narrative overnight. But for now, they are choosing silence, and that silence speaks volumes. In recent years, she has positioned herself as more than just a former royal. She has attempted to build a brand that extends into media, philanthropy, and activism. Her deals with Netflix, Spotify, and other major companies were meant to solidify her status as a global influencer. But scandals of this magnitude have long-term consequences. If the allegations gain traction, brands may distance themselves from her. Investors and executives tend to avoid controversy, especially when it comes to public figures who rely on their reputations for success. Meghan's ability to continue her work in media may also be affected. Her documentary projects and public appearances depend on her being perceived as a credible, trustworthy figure. If people begin to doubt her, that credibility disappears. Then there's the issue of public perception. Even if this scandal doesn't result in legal consequences, it could permanently alter how the public views her. And in the world of celebrity, perception is everything. Without hard evidence, the allegations remain just that, allegations. But that's where the hidden tape comes in. If the tape is real, it would serve as undeniable proof. It could provide audio, video, or documented conversations that remove all doubt. But here's where things get complicated. Even if Thomas Markle does have a tape, the authenticity of its contents would need to be thoroughly examined. In today's digital age, audio and video can be manipulated. Deepfake technology has advanced to the point where fabricated recordings can be almost indistinguishable from reality. This means that simply having a tape isn't enough. It must be analyzed by forensic experts, verified for authenticity, and cross-checked with other sources. But if it is real, if the tape does in fact contain irrefutable proof of an IVF child with Getty, then everything changes. There will be no more speculation, no more denials, only the truth. Fertility specialists, legal analysts, and media professionals have all weighed in on the possibility of an IVF child being kept secret at this level. Some argue that it's entirely possible. In elite circles, private medical procedures are not uncommon. Secrecy is often prioritized over transparency, especially when it comes to matters of inheritance, reputation, and legacy. Others believe that it would be nearly impossible to keep such a significant event hidden for so long. Even with the best security and legal measures in place, secrets of this magnitude tend to surface eventually. But if Thomas Markle's alleged tape is real, experts agree that it could serve as one of the most damning pieces of evidence ever revealed about Meghan Markle. It would not only confirm the existence of a secret child, but also expose the intricate web of deception that allowed it to remain hidden for so long. This is about more than one woman's reputation. It's about the way power, wealth, and influence operate in the modern world. It raises questions about media manipulation, celebrity privilege, and the extent to which secrets can be buried when the right people are involved. It also forces society to confront its own fascination with the rich and famous. Why are people so invested in Meghan's life? Why does every rumor, every scandal, every controversy surrounding her generate such intense interest? Perhaps it is because Meghan represents something larger than herself. She is a symbol of rebellion against the monarchy, a self-made woman who walked away from tradition to forge her own path. But if this scandal is true, then it shatters that carefully constructed image. It turns her from a victim of the media into an architect of her own downfall. Continuing with the next section. Here we go. From the very beginning, Meghan Markle has been a controversial figure. She was once an actress known primarily for her role in Suits, But her life took a drastic turn when she married Prince Harry. What was initially seen as a fairy tale romance quickly became one of the most talked about sagas in modern history. But no controversy surrounding Meghan has been as shocking as the allegations of a secret child with billionaire Gordon Getty via IVF. This claim, allegedly backed by a hidden tape in the possession of Thomas Markle, has the potential to redefine everything people believe about Meghan. The idea that she may have secretly conceived a child outside of her marriage to Prince Harry would not only be a scandal of unprecedented proportions, but would also call into question her entire public persona. And if such a child exists, what does that mean for her marriage, her public image, and her standing with the royal family? But beyond the personal implications, the revelation carries an even deeper significance. It exposes the power dynamics at play in elite circles, the mechanisms used to control narratives, and the lengths people will go to protect secrets that are never meant to be uncovered. The existence of a hidden tape, the role of powerful media figures in controlling information, and the eerie silence from both Meghan and the royal family all point to a story that is far from over. And the public is left with more questions than answers. Throughout her time in the public eye, Meghan has been portrayed in many different ways. To some, she is a victim of relentless media attacks, a woman who dared to challenge the establishment. To others, she is a calculated strategist, someone who has carefully crafted her own story to fit a specific narrative. But if the allegations are true, then the truth about Meghan is far more complicated than anyone ever imagined. The existence of a secret child, hidden from the public, would be the most damaging revelation yet. It would challenge everything she has claimed about her life, her struggles, and her choices. It would also force people to reevaluate their perception of her, making it impossible for even her most loyal supporters to ignore the contradictions. Yet, there is another possibility, the idea that this is just another smear campaign, another attempt to bring down a woman who has already been subjected to years of intense scrutiny. The debate over Meghan's legacy is no longer just about whether she is a hero or a villain. It is about whether she is who she says she is at all. And as this controversy unfolds, the world is watching. Now that the story has been laid out, the biggest question remains. What is the truth? Is this just another scandal blown out of proportion? Or is there real evidence to support the claim that Meghan Markle secretly had a child with Gordon Getty? What should happen next? Should the alleged tape be released for the world to see? Should Meghan break her silence and address the rumors head-on? This is where the discussion truly begins. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the allegations? Do you think this is another attempt to manipulate public perception? This story is far from over, and as more details emerge, the truth, whatever it may be, will eventually come to light. And when it does, the world will be watching.